Pure winds blow in the jewel trees, producing the 5 notes of the scale. As those sounds are harmonious and spontaneous, pay homage to Amida, the one imbued with purity. Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Good morning, everyone. I am very happy to be here today. I just got back yesterday from a trip to California to teach the final Tokudo or ministerial prep training for the candidates who will be traveling to Japan in October to receive their ordination. They have been preparing for over a year now, and I have been going to most of the sessions as one of the chanting instructors, along with Rinban Kusunoki. And I wanted to bring up this passage today from the Hymns of the Pure Land, or the Wasan, written by our founder, Master Shinran Shonin. You know, when we think about the Buddhist religion in general, I think one of the things that's seen the most, or that's thought of in our minds the most, is a monk who is in either orange robes or maybe magenta robes, sitting in a lotus position meditating. And that image is not incorrect. Definitely many Buddhists are part of that practice, and it's a wonderful practice, and I am just in awe and envy almost of those monks who are able to sit in that type of concentration for that long of a time. Unfortunately, I am not one of those priests. In fact, I'm unable to be one of those priests because my mind is just so all over the place. I'm thinking about future things. I'm thinking about the service I have to do later today. I'm worrying about I have to fly back down to California tomorrow because the ministers' conference is going to be in Lodi. I'm worrying about, oh my gosh, is my flight going to be on time? Is it going to get canceled again? Alaska's really been dropping the ball lately on keeping things on time or getting us to a gate, right? All of these things are going on in my head, and it was going on in my head while we were chanting. But what do we as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists do? So one of the things that is one of the most important aspects of our tradition and our rituals that we do as Jodo Shinshu Buddhists is our recitation of Nembutsu, but also the recitation of the 3 Pure Land Sutras, or the words of our founder, Master Shinran Shonin. And when we think about receiving the Dharma through teachings and talks, right? This is one of the things that's most self-evident in our religion, is that, we're here to receive the Dharma and listen carefully. But the Dharma is also given and received by chanting. All of us are chanting various sutras. So today's sutra, Jusei-ge, comes from the larger sutra. And what makes a sutra is that they are words spoken from the Buddha's mouth. So we are, in a sense, chanting words that Shakyamuni Buddha spoke. And that's why we honor this so much. There are so many layers to the rituals and the practices that we do. One is to pay homage to the teacher who gave us this teaching. The other is to honor the teaching itself, for it teaches of Amida Buddha's great wisdom and compassion that is freely given to us on an everyday, every second basis. But it also provides, in a sense, a type of meditative or contemplative action for us to do as well. When you think about when we all chant together, we all are able to chant, in a sense, as one unit. All of us are able to, in a sense, blend together in this beautiful form of oneness that connects all of us. Some of the things that unite people, I think, are choirs, right? When people sing in a choir, or when people recite a pledge. I know that some people may, have feelings one way or another towards reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, right? But I remember having to recite that when I was in kindergarten. And that was the thing that all of us did. But one of the things that I think that's very important about being able to chant as one unit when we chant things like Jusei or Sambutsuge is that it sort of takes our ego out of the equation. All of us are united in this one teaching and in this spot. So it gives us actually a chance to sort of detach ourselves from our imperfect selves just for a moment and allow ourselves to truly receive the Dharma. So I emphasized to the Tokudo candidates or to the ministerial priest candidates, right, the importance of how we chant, and especially how a priest is supposed to chant on the Onaijin, right? I understand that when we do chant things like Jusei or Sambutsuge, it could be a little difficult at times because we are chanting in a foreign language. And we're not chanting in Japanese, just FYI. To add a little bit more complication to what we're doing, we are chanting classical Japanese's mispronunciation of Tang Dynasty Chinese's mispronunciation of Sanskrit. That's what we're doing. And, yes, some Japanese can actually read the sutras, like they can look at all the kanji characters. But even then, we're reading in classical Chinese grammar. And so that's actually opposite of Japanese grammar. The syntax is all off. So while they may be able to recognize the characters, they can't read them from top to bottom, like and construe a perfectly molded sentence. So with all of this complication in here, why do we do what we do? Once again, this gives us and provides us an opportunity to really delve into the teachings of the Buddha, while in a sense giving us a cathartic experience to do so. It's not just a teacher blandly talking to you with a chalkboard saying things, right? And that type of teaching is important, I should say, but it gives us all a chance to really think about and to really appreciate the teachings the way that they were given to us. Part of this is through sound and through chanting. But it's also, Jusei is a wonderful chant because it goes nice and, monotone so everyone's able to do it. It's not like a complicated song that has, many twists and turns and goes up and down. So that way, everybody's able to participate. So it's not just, the words and the teaching itself, but it's the accessibility of it. All of you are able to chant Jusei by now. And for our members who are longtime members, I almost expect that you have memorized it by this point. I'm certain you have, because it's become a part of the ritual that you do when you come here to this temple. And there is a treasure in that as well. I think we forget sometimes that the teachings and the words that we recite themselves are treasures. I mean, of course, in the modern day and age when, money is something that all of us are trying so hard to get, it's hard to think of experiences, teachings, and even books as treasures, right? And in fact, sadly, now we're to the point where if we even think about a book, right, we wonder how rare it is, what edition is it, and how much is it worth, right? But when we think about the teachings, these are spiritual gifts given to us by the Buddha. And so I never want us to take Jusei for granted. So I hope, and I'm certain that none of you feel this way, but I hope that when you come to the temple, you're not thinking, okay, we got to get through this chant so then we can hear what Sensei has to say in the Dharma message, right? I encourage all of us, including myself, to take some real time to enjoy the chanting for what it is and to receive the chanting as a gift from the Buddha's mouth. I'm speaking this way once again because I'm still sort of in chanting teacher mode from the Tokudo training. But I really enjoy doing these seminars or going to these seminars and teaching because it's not just me dictating to the candidates how they're supposed to do things. These are a reminder for me as well as a student of Buddhism. This is a constant reminder of self-checking, self-introspection. Am I still the minister? Is my quality still as good from when I began serving here as a minister? Is my dedication and attention to detail and to the rituals still on point than from when I started? Or am I starting to do the bad thing and cut corners or do things last minute or think of things, right? All of these things. So these are all opportunities for me to learn and not just to tell you, right, what you should receive or how you should take things. Chanting, on a last note, chanting is an experience that should be enjoyed. And I certainly hope that as the time continues here, as my time continues here in the Northwest, that I can share some of the more rarer chants with you of Jodo Shinchu. So today, we chanted Jusei Ge, and we did it in a very straight through and everyone can do it. But did you know at Nishihonganji, they have a very fancy melodic way of doing Jusei Ge that they only reserve for special occasions like Ohigan. And it sounds a little bit like this. I'll do a little bit of a demonstration here. Like that. And thank you. But when you go to Nishihonganji and you go to a service like Ohigan and you listen to 20, 30, maybe even 50 priests chanting that at the same time, I guarantee you it's a transformative experience. I guarantee you that it will change the way that you feel, which is what brings me back to this particular quote that I did today from the Wasan. Pure winds blow in the jewel trees, producing the 5 tones of the scale. As those sounds are harmonious and spontaneous, pay homage to Amida, the one imbued with purity. This particular quote is, again, from the Wasan, or the hymns of the Pure Land. And it describes the beautiful sounds that are in Amida Buddha's Pure Land. All throughout the Pure Land, the Dharma is being taught, whether it be through the, through the mouth of the Buddha himself, or if it's through the sounds that the jewel trees make. But this is a sentiment that was taught to me when I was attending the ritual and chanting school of Nishihonganji, is that when we chant and when I chant and when we receive the Dharma, it should be a pleasant experience, not a dull one or a boring one. It should be an experience that's treasured. So as we continue coming to service and as we continue chanting together, I sincerely hope all of you don't ever get tired of the chants that we do. And I will do my best to try to provide some variety here and there just to shake things up, to keep you all on your toes every now and then. But with that in mind, I ask all of us to very much enjoy the teachings of Amida Buddha's wisdom and compassion spoken to us from Shakyamuni Buddha's own words. Please join me in Gassho. Pure winds blow in the jewel trees, producing the 5 tones of the scale. As those sounds are harmonious and spontaneous, pay homage to Amida, the one imbued with purity. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namandats, namandats, namandats.